Hey everyone, today I wanted to do a quick video on glue. If you're new to the hobby or working with a different material to what you're normally used to, then you might not know what the best glue to use is. And if you're using the wrong glue, then it probably isn't working too well for you. So let me give you a quick overview. So in front of me here I have a few different types of glue. Over here are the plastic cements. In front of me here are super glues. And over here I have some PVA glue and wood glue. So when should you use each of these products? Well, it'll mostly depend on what you're using it for. Most models that you buy now from Games Workshop will probably have a sprue that looks similar to this. This is their plastic sprue, and you'll see it's like a dark grey colour. So for any of these, the best glues to use will be the plastic cements. The super glue will also work, but it may be less neat. Over here I have another sprue. This one is a lot lighter in colour, and it's actually a fine cast model or a resin model. One thing I learned the hard way is that plastic glue will not work with this at all. It either just won't glue it or it'll just make a big mess. So for this type of model, you're going to want to use super glue. This metallic model here is made out of pewter. If you have any of these, then super glue is your best option as well. The plastic cement won't do very much for it. So why is the plastic cement a little bit different? Well, it actually works by very lightly melting the surface of the plastic, just for a very short moment, so that when it contacts with another piece of plastic, the two parts will sort of fuse together. As for which are the best ones to use, these three here are probably the most common and also the ones that I've found to be pretty good. If you've ever made plastic models in the past, like airplanes, this would have been fairly common. Games Workshop also make their own glue for this though, and it's not too bad. The biggest problem I get with these is the needle getting clogged, or the needle just coming out. So it can be a bit of a nuisance to use it sometimes, but the glue itself is quite good. Now the Tamiya Extra Thin works a little bit differently. With these glues, what you do is you apply the glue and then you fit the pieces together. With this glue, you actually fit the pieces together first, and then you lightly brush this on top of the crease. And because it's so thin, it will actually get into that join and fuse the pieces together that way. This is really good, but I don't recommend using it indoors. It's better to use outside or in a very well ventilated place. It has a very strong odor to it, and it will make you feel lightheaded rather quickly. Now when you come into the super glues, the most common ones you'll find are these tubes. I'm not fond of them because once you use them once, the caps tend to fuse on and it's impossible to open them ever again. I really like the Loctite ones. They have a really good tip for applying the glue, and these caps don't tend to get stuck. So I've been using the same bottles for ages and they're still going, they haven't fused shut, the glue's still good. So Loctite I definitely recommend. Now a lot of people will probably use these glues without any protection. I definitely recommend wearing glasses, especially with the super glue. Just on the very low chance there is any sort of splash or anything in your eyes. Yeah, it's really not a fun time to get this anywhere near your eyes, so that's just something to keep in mind. Always wear eye protection. The other thing to note with super glue is you always want to let it dry out in the open. If you were to glue a bunch of models together and then put them in a box or something with a lid, then the model and everything around it, the model, will get covered with like a white, almost cobwebby type film. As the glue dries, it'll have a chemical reaction that releases some gas over time, and that's what covers everything. If it's out in the open, it's fine. The gas will just go into the air and it won't be a problem. If it's covered, then it'll make a bit of a mess. So that's just something to keep in mind with super glue. Now, for these ones over here, you're mostly going to be using these when you're doing the basing of the model. So if you're sticking sand or other gritty things to the base of the model, PVA glue is probably your go-to for that. That'll do a very neat job and it'll hold any small gritty stuff to it without any problem. If you need to stick something a bit bigger to the base, then your wood glues are a good alternative. But the wood glues may leave a bit more residue and probably make a bit more of a mess. So that's where I normally recommend the PVA glue first, and wood glue if you need a little more strength. Okay, so that was some quick tips for using glue. Please let me know in the comments if I missed anything important. If you find these sort of quick tips helpful, please like and subscribe. I'll be doing a few more of these quick tip videos, as well as longer painting tutorials, hobby updates, and also information on the Hobby Life app. Well, I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you again next time.